And these two aren't the only former Tigers taking their game to the next level. Jake Dix will be heading to Iowa Central as a center. Dylan Bain will be playing for the University of Dubuque as a defensive tackle. Jesse Alexander is headed to Augustana for football and track. And both Sean Boss and Jeff Conrad are looking to possibly walk on at the University of Northern Iowa. And speaking of Conrad, I spoke to Jeff on National Signing Day, a day that he could have been a part of were it not for an injury late in the 2009 season. It was the last regular season game of the year, a blowout in the Tigers' favor against Dubuque Senior, and an almost irrelevant game as Cedar Falls High School already had their playoff spot determined. But Jeff Conrad was still on the field, not only playing his regular linebacker spot, but also filling in for an injured John Gogola at the fullback position. It was there, out of his normal position, that Conrad took an awkward hit in the second quarter that left many Cedar Falls fans and coaches in doubt about his future.
And the big boys up front doing their job.
1st and 10, misdirection. Barkley Hill caught at the line of scrimmage. And oh, look at this developing play. Jeff Conrad appears to be shaken up for Cedar Falls.
And I'll tell you why that's big, because heading into this game, the tackle leader, Jeff Conrad, 48 solo tackles, 47 assists, 4 sacks. This is all before tonight's game. He was number 3 in tackles in the conference. And in a game like this, where all you really need to do is pick up a win to clinch home field advantage, you know you're already in the playoffs. You're already up 21-0. You just hope, that's fine if he can't come back for tonight, but you just hope that it's not a season-ending injury.
Unfortunately, it was not only a season-ending injury, but an injury that would leave his entire football career in doubt. Doctors ruled it to be a spiral fracture, one of the worst injuries a bone can take, and one that would end the high school career of one of the best Tiger defensive players in recent memory.
It was really hard to just watch the last 2 games, you know, just sitting on the sideline, just knowing there was nothing I can do to help the team out. And just, I mean, they played great in the first game, and second game just played great, and just really wish I could have been out there to help get that win.
The Tigers would go on to defeat Dubuque Senior, and they won their first round playoff game against Davenport Assumption. But this team just wasn't the same without Conrad.
Well, it was one of those deals that you're trying to replace a 2-year starter that was an all-conference player, so it was a difficult thing to do. We had a couple kids that stepped in and played well in his absence in those things, but obviously a player of his caliber is going to be tough to replace. But our kids stepped up. We had a pretty good defensive effort against Davenport Assumption in that 23-3 win, and did some good things against Clinton. Unfortunately, they were able to get the win against us, but I think the kids rallied together, and kids picked up the slack in his absence.
Since the Tigers' season-ending loss to Clinton, Jeff has gotten his cast removed, and he is still hard at work getting his leg back in playing shape. Not only for football, but so he can also finish his career as a Tiger baseball player.
I've been in here lifting every day, and so, I mean, talked to Pete the trainer. He's a good guy, he knows what he's doing. So, and then I've also been riding the bike and getting on the elliptical just to build up some muscle again. The leg feels fine, everything feels fine. It's just since I've been in the cast, just everything's kind of tight down there, like my ankle, and bottom of my foot's a little sore, but other than that, I mean, it's healed up pretty nice, so that's good. Well, I have an appointment coming up again here soon, so the doctor will check it out one more time, and I think it's clear to go. So, yeah, I'm doing baseball in the summer, so we've already started throwing and stuff, and it's feeling fine, so it's a good thing.
And even though his rehabilitation is far from over, Conrad feels confident about continuing his playing career at the next level.
Well, I've kind of narrowed it down to 2 options right now, but UNI, top of the list right now, so thinking about walking on there and maybe playing hopefully in the future.
It was great to see Jeff off his crutches and back in playing shape. Now, after the break, we'll speak with a local team that has seen their fair share of struggles over the last few years. But much like Jeff, they appear to steadily be making a comeback. And speaking of comebacks, we'll be right back here on Sports Talk.